When you buy Kroger brand products, you feel like you're winning. That's because they offer proven quality at lower than low prices. In fact, we guarantee that you and your family will love how Kroger brand products taste, or you get your money back. So next time you're shopping for the family, look for delicious Kroger brand products, because they'll make you all feel like you're winning. Shop now, in-store, or online. Bakers, fresh for everyone.
Tired of ads interfering with your favorite sports podcasts? Good news. Ad-free listening is available on Amazon Music for all the music plus top podcasts included with your Prime membership. Stay ahead of the game by downloading the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/sports ad free. That's amazon.com/sports ad free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
It's time to get inside the Giants Huddle.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
On Giants.com.
I like it, I like it, I like it.
And the Giants mobile app.
Boom, give me some juice.
Part of the Giants Podcast Network.
Let's roll.
We're back here on another edition of the Giants Huddle Podcast, brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the New York Football Giants. I am John Schmeelk. This is our position series. We kick off the defensive side of the ball with a look at the defensive tackles on this Giants roster, including the big man in the middle, Dexter Lawrence. All right, and now we're joined by Dexter Lawrence. And if you're listening to this on audio, I suggest you go to the YouTube page because you can see Dexter in the beautiful new Century Red uniform, the helmet. So what do you think of it now that you have it on, man? What do you think?
I love it. First of all, it's comfortable to be in. Very lightweight. I like the color scheme. They did a good job putting this together.
Well, you look good, man.
Thank you.
I think your defenses look pretty damn good in practice so far this spring. How do you think about how the group's coming together?
It's coming together pretty well. We continue to learn the playbook to be more comfortable with it, because we got new DC and stuff. But I think we gelling together as a team, and camaraderie is good.
So I asked your defensive line coach, Andre Patterson, a couple weeks ago. I said, so, in this new system, is there any chance that you take Dexter Lawrence, off the nose on early downs because you got so many other kind of big guys in the room? And he goes, are you trying to get me fired? So I guess my question for you is that do you see your role and how they're using you changing at all with how this new system's being put in?
Not much. They allow me to be me, which is what I like. Me wanting to continue to grow as a player, I want to play the whole line, just to continue to grow as a player and be more dynamic. So, it's still pretty much the same thing. I'm still, playing nose, but, I'm trying to dabble in 3 technique too.
Yeah, and I think it was Nacho that I was having the conversation. I've talked to so many guys today where he said based on once you line up and if the offense shifts, you're going to have to just move over anyway,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So basically everyone's learning all the spots pretty much, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How has that been trying to learn every spot in a new system over the course of a couple months?
I mean, it's good because the guys in the room, we help each other. We go through the playbook, talk about it, and we look at each other. If you ask them what I got, what the other person got, type of thing. You know what I mean? So it's coming along, it's gelling pretty good, and I'm excited.
And when you talk about this defense and the way a lot of these defenses are successful is how can defensive coaches keep 2 guys off their best players? Mm-hmm. And that's part of it, right? You want to try to set up one-on-ones for guys like you, guys like Brian Burns to win. Mm-hmm. How do you think this scheme, the way they have things set up, are going to try to get you isolated maybe a little bit? Obviously, you're in the middle. Teams are going to double you, but
yeah, I think the isolation will just happen naturally because we got guys like Brian or Kayvon or we just picked up Phillips and Nacho and the young guys like Jordan and all those guys. So I think it's going to naturally happen because all those guys is developing and doing great. So I think it's going to naturally happen.
All right, final question: how great can this front be once you get everyone on the field? And I'm just thinking about your pass rush package. You could have you, Z's, Burns, and Kayvon all on the field at the same time.
Right. Pretty nasty. I think our biggest thing is not is rushing together and not rushing separate.
I like it. Yeah. Dex, good stuff, man. Thank you, dude.
Thank you.
You look good.
Yeah, thank you, man.
And now we're joined by Giants defensive lineman Ryder Anderson. Ryder, how are you, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
So how do you foresee your role in Shane Bowen's defensive system? What do you think they're going to have you do a lot of?
Really just being an explosive addition to the defensive line, getting after the passer, and then playing well in the run.
Now, maybe you guys don't think about it this way, but when I think of defensive tackles, I think of body types, right? I think of kind of your bigger nose types, and I think of kind of like the Leonard Williams body type plays more of a 3-technique style, right? I feel like you're one of the guys on this team that have more of that 3-technique style of body, right? And I don't think there's a lot of other guys. Do you see a role here where, all right, pass rushing situations, you put me at the 3-tech, I have a chance to really contribute as a pass rusher to this team?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of guys in our room are like larger set guys and stuff like that. So I definitely will probably get a lot more reps at 3 and maybe like some strong end and stuff like that.
How has your offseason been? What were some of the things you've been trying to focus on to become a better player?
Offseason's been great. Primarily just making sure that I come in healthy and explosive. Those are my 2 biggest things. Coming from last year, I gained a lot of weight going into my second year, and I felt really strong, but I just wanted to kind of fine-tune my quickness and my twitch. So that's my big emphasis this offseason. Is
that something that they talked to you about with the new defensive system? They wanted you a little bit twitchier, a little bit more explosive to kind of get upfield a little bit more? Yeah,
for sure. Talking to Dre, Coach Dre, he wanted me to lose like 5 pounds and then just come in just at a weight where I really felt good and really felt fast and light on my feet. So.
Have you felt that when you've been out there on the field? Have you felt the change in the difference?
Yeah, no doubt. And every day I just put that emphasis on, really exploding off the ball and just being showing my abilities to pass rush and stuff like that. So.
What has it been like trying to learn the new system?
I mean, just like it always is, you get to a point where it's only so many defenses you can run, so it really just comes down to terminology and understanding the ideals that the defensive coordinator believes in and wants to instill in the whole defense.
How is kind of this defensive line group coming together? You have some new faces in there this offseason.
It's coming together great, honestly. We added a couple people. We got some signed 2 free agent rookies and brought in a veteran in Jordan Phillips. So, yeah, it's looking good for sure.
Where do you feel like you've made the most progress and improved the most since you've gotten here and put on a Giants uniform?
Really just my understanding, my knowledge for the game, especially, coming from year 1 to year 2, I really felt the game slow down, so I was able to really just start to kind of dive into the intricacies of the game, intricacies of playing defense and defensive line specifically. I have a great coach for that. Jay Patterson, he's well renowned in the sport, especially defensive line specifically. So just being able to have a mind like that and learn from him, this has been very valuable to me.
Ryder, good stuff, man. Appreciate the time.
I appreciate you.
You're ready for a change. Payday comes early with Citizens, so go to that retreat. New You moves to the country. Now you're raising goats and launching a lifestyle brand. Are you ready for all that life brings?
Football is coming, and so is the next college semester. If you need funding, a Citizens student loan could help you pay for 100% of your school certified cost. Get your rate quote in about 2 minutes at citizensbank.com/payforcollege. And now we're joined by Giants defensive lineman DJ Davidson. DJ, we just talked to Jordon Riley.
Yes.
How is this system different for you in terms of what they're asking you to do in the defensive line under Shane Bowen, the defensive coordinator?
Honestly, I just think it comes down to you just got to just beat the man in front of you. That's the biggest difference, and that's what it's always been. So,
right, I got to imagine. Now, what has this offseason been like for you? You're not rehabbing from an injury, right? You're coming back. You're 100%. So how have you been able to take advantage of having like a real life NFL offseason?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, honestly, how you said I was injured last year, going into last year's season. So I was more focused on just getting healthy, being able to move my body the right way that I can. But this offseason, I was able to actually go in and work on like actual skills, like hands, my feet.
Becoming a better football player, huh?
Yeah, just becoming a better football player. And like I feel like that's what I missed from like going into last year, instead of going to this year. It was great off in Arizona. I've been working with Bernard Berry out there, D-line training camp. A few of my coaches back there, Larry Graham, some weightlifting facilities, and those are the things that I wasn't able to do. I was still weightlifting, but
lower body stuff though.
It was monitored, but this it's full tilt, it's full go. I can work on everything rather than just upper body or just here and there. So,
where have you seen the progress? Where do you think you have gotten better as a player this offseason?
I think my mental aspect of my game, just understanding who I am as a player, working on those things that am good at, and really focusing on those, my explosiveness, my hips, stretching, being more mobile, all those things, like I'm able to actually work on and sit down and just reflect on those. So
I know you were healthy enough to play last year, but do you feel like you're finally to the point now where athletically you feel like you were before the injury? Because I know a lot of times people come back and they're not quite there yet, right? How long did it take you to kind of get there?
I think the biggest, I think honestly, I didn't really lose like that pop or nothing like
Well, that's good.
Nothing like that, but just the mental aspect, just making sure like, all right, I can play, like I'm good enough to play. I can rely on this knee or rely on this whatever injury it is, rather than going out there and second guessing like if I step here, is it gonna re-tear or something? But no, all that confidence is fully there and everything. So
where do you see yourself fitting in on this defensive line? You see yourself playing 3 technique a little bit more. When Dex is in the nose, you see yourself more inside. Where do you see them using you the most in this year?
Honestly, everywhere. I mean, nose tackle, 3 technique, defensive end, and certain.
You even had a 5
packages.
technique, right? In base, right?
Yeah. Just whatever I'm called to do. That's I'm taking that opportunity. So.
That's awesome, man. Do you have many major goals for this year?
My biggest goal really is just to whatever create a role for myself in this defense. My other biggest goal is to thrive in whatever that role is, and just be productive, more productive than last year, and just really just continue to ball out for my guys and my brothers and my coaches and my family. That's about it. Final
detail question. Do you guys have some 2-gapping in this system, or is it mostly a 1-gap get-up field thing, or does it depend on the call?
Just depends on the call. You know, obviously you can be in every defense. You can be in, especially this one and the other previous one too. But this one, you can be odd fronts, you can be even, you can be overs, you can be unders. It's whatever. Just you can really be in any kind of front. You just got to play whatever that call is at the time. So
awesome, DJ. Good luck, man. We appreciate it, dude.
Perfect.
You love turf. You're good at it. So you start a turf biz. Business grows, your savings grow. Become the most celebrated name in turf. Are you ready for all that life brings?
And now we are joined by the one and only, I'm just going to call him Nacho. Nacho, what's up, man? How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing great. So how's it been for you, a defensive lineman, learning this new defensive system coming in here with Shane Bowen?
It's been awesome, honestly. Been around a couple different systems, so I had a lot of familiarity, with it. So
is this similar to something you've done in the past?
Yes. It's much more aggressive, but I love it. It's very detail-oriented. Let guys be where they need to be, and then after that, just make plays.
That's it. Almost every guy, not from a question, they've said this defensive system is aggressive. Why would you term it to be aggressive?
I mean, it's just times where, you're bringing your blitzers, your backers, your money. It's just you can get hit from different angles, but still there's eyes on the quarterback. So it's disciplined football, and I love it.
I was talking to Bobby Okereke, and I asked compared to last year's, and more 1-gapping or 2-gapping. And, I figured last year with all the blitzing and stuff like that, you're trying to get a feel. But he said in this system, it's 1-gap city. Like, you're not, there's not a ton of 2-gapping, and you guys, he just wants you to get upfield.
Yeah.
You must love that, I would imagine.
I love it. I mean, it's just one of those things, like, if you ever think about a fight, mano a mano. It's me versus you. And it's 11 guys out there with solo fights, and I love it.
Now, the thing about it, though, when I think of 1-gap system that get upfield, sometimes that can leave you vulnerable in the run game, right?
Correct.
You try to get upfield, you might leave a gap. If you're trying to move around an offensive lineman, it might open up a gap. But historically, Shane Bowen's defenses have been phenomenal against the run. They've been some of the best run defense in the league. So how do you guys balance that, get upfield, go make a play, but also be responsible for your gap and be sound in the run game?
I guess you just said it. I mean, schematically, we are getting upfield, but within that, there's a technique. So you're not just running blind, with folders over your eyes. You're in your gap, you're sound, you're dominating your space, and you go from there.
That's interesting. How good can this defensive front be between you? Then you got Dex, you got the 3 edge guys. Aziz is healthy. Brian Burns comes in.
Man, the sky's the limit. I'm actually eager and excited to see it all come together.
3 technique for you
Yes.
think, this year?
Man.
Are you pumped for that?
Every year it's always you're going to play 3. You might play nose, you might play in. Look, I know I play defensive line. Wherever it is, where you need me is where I'm going to show up.
Well, the reason I asked that, though, is because I feel like just in your room right now, and, things are going to change between now and the first week of the year. We get that. But there's a lot of, really big frame dudes between Dexter, Jordan Phillips, Jordon Riley.
Correct.
I feel like you're, based on the room, you feel like you're fit here and with this group is 3 technique, though.
I agree with you. And I'm going to go back to what I said. Every time I look at the numbers when I was younger, I'm like, they got big guys over there. I'm not going to play nose. I play 3. And I end up right in nose. So, look, they're big, they're awesome, they're strong, but they don't do what I do, and I can't do what they do. So we all complement each other.
Nah, true. Can't wait to see it, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, dude. Now we're joined by Giants' big defensive tackle, Jordon Riley. Jordon, how are you, man?
Man, I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. All right, so this is your first real NFL offseason, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had the combine draft and everything last year. You came in late, rookie trying to figure everything out in football and life.
Right.
Now you're kind of settled.
Yeah.
What has your second offseason been for you, and how much do you think that's kind of helped you become a better player?
I just think just having the time, just time to work on my body and work on my craft. I think that helped a lot. And just able to rest, really, be able to rest my body and really be able to recover from just a full season of straight football.
No, absolutely. New defense. You still have your defensive line coach here, right? Dre Patterson is one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
How has he helped you guys try to translate what you did last year with Wink into what now they're asking you to do in your new system under Shane Bowen?
I just think just keeping everything the same and then just starting over. I think just as far as like technique and fundamentals, just starting over and being able to just remember how a good position feels and how a good fundamentally sound position feels. So I think he helps us a lot with doing that. And then with this defense, I think it's a lot more simpler. Like we just hitting gaps, a lot of 4-man, 3-man rush. It's very simple.
Yeah, it's not as much as I still remember watching you guys the last 2 years out there during the install period, and you have the 4 different, the 3 different groups set up. You got all the garbage cans, and you guys are trying to fit with DBs and linebackers on blitz packages, right? Not as much as that, because you're going to be more straight 3-man, 4-man pressure, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of straight, simple, a lot of just lining up in our gap and hitting our gaps. Not a lot of moving parts as far as last year. In
terms of technique, in terms of gap responsibility, things like that, what are the differences for you guys in this system this year compared to last?
It's really like it's a lot of same patterns, different movements, but it's just a lot of guys playing different positions. We like to move our line a lot. It's not really complicated as last year. It's just line up in your gap and going. Really.
But you guys will shift based on formation, right? Based on where the tight end is, and that and
a lot more of that. But it's not more difficult as far as in the call. Like what's the responsibility of the calls?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you foresee yourself this year playing more when Dex is off the field, stepping into the nose tackle spot? Do you see yourself more as a 3 technique? Where do they think they're going to use you most at defensive tackle? I
play mostly nose, but it's like how this defense is. Like, say if the tight end moves, then I might have to play 3 techniques. So it's really in between both. So
you guys have to basically know how to play all the spots based on your shifts.
Yes.
Where do you want to make the most progress as a second year guy coming off your rookie year in terms of where you want to get better this offseason?
I played nose last year, so I want to say get better at nose, just playing more and that, and get more experience in that, and then eventually, as the season progresses, try to work on 3 techs, do stuff. So.
Jordan, good stuff, man. Appreciate the time.
Appreciate it.
That's a look at the defensive tackles, a group that has a lot of talent. We'll see how the Giants decide to use them in Shane Bowen's new defensive system. I'm John Schmeelk. Thanks for joining us on the Giants Huddle podcast, brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the Giants. We'll see you next time, everybody.
The South Dakota Stories, Volume 7. My trip to South Dakota was the best summer ever. Now I don't need to go to Mars, because I've been to the Badlands. And I caught a bigger walleye than Dad when we went to the Missouri River. Then I rode my bike through these huge rocks called needles. Ooh, I also saw my first herd of bison, even a fuzzy furry baby one. I can't wait to go back and see more. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Hey, it's Bobby Bones. Are you looking to build this year? If so, there is no better time than right now to start planning and to get your spot on the construction schedule. If you need a garage, a stall barn, a storage for vehicles, RV, boat, collectibles, or even a shop for your farm, hobbies, or car restoration projects, visit MortonBuildings.com and start your construction process. With superior materials, craftsmanship, best-in-class warranty, Morton buildings are made to last for generations. At Morton, the difference is in the details. From their cutting-edge innovations to their craftsmen in the field, they are dedicated to surpassing expectations. Their legacy of excellence spans more than 120 years, and Morton Buildings is 100% employee-owned with more than 250,000 satisfied customers. That means they're the industry leader you can trust. When you choose Morton, you'll experience quality at every step of the building process, starting before the walls even go up. Visit mortonbuildings.com to get started today.